Hi, I want to take a moment to just let you know a little bit more about VSR, Vocal Somatic Resonance. It's not about singing, it's about using your voice as the sound healing tool that it is. So 10, 15 years ago, I started asking myself the question, why does sound really heal? How does it work? And I'm a musician, so I've been touring at that time for about a decade, performing my songs, sharing them, seeing that there's power in music. But I realized there's got to be a deeper power than the admiration and the attention that comes with performing. And I was yearning to find that truth and to heal myself with this modality that I have in my being as a musician, as a natural born lover of music. So, aren't we all? So I started humming, and there was not much available online at the time to find, to research. I could not find in my circles people that could teach me. So I just started humming. I started feeling in for myself, and the barriers that one has to work through to get rid of those feelings of imposter syndrome. You're not supposed to sing if you don't have a beautiful voice, those type of things. All these, keep quiet because you've been asked, because the adults that you were around with when you were an exuberant, healthy individual as a youngster, they all had their traumas to deal with. So a loud scream just jolted them up and they told you to be quiet. So those things can all be overcome. So the practice can totally help you to sing, to relax, to become more confident. It will hone your voice, but more than that, it will hone your attention and your intention to place it in the correct position to heal. And that also will help you throughout your whole life to learn to come back to a healing energy, to when you're going through challenges or you're triggered, to return back into a state of coherence. And so with lots of practice and more research, scouring the internet from time to time, I found little tidbits, started practicing it. Chakra tones, sounds for the organs, many different things that I practiced and shared over time. But it wasn't until about 5 years ago that I started really deepening, and particularly 3 years ago that I really went deeper into the ancient practices. So I started gathering the information about how to activate heart-brain coherence, learning from top institutions how to actually do this, to bring the heart and the brain into coherence with visualization techniques. And because I've already been humming and seeing the power of it, and by that time there was much more available to prove to the Western mind that humming really totally is healthy. So just to list a few things, we create nitric oxide when we hum in our nose. When you hum through the nose with the lips closed, and you breathe that back in, that nitric oxide gets brought into your system. That doesn't happen without humming as potently as it does. Nitric oxide, look it up. It is a powerful medicine your body makes to help to heal you. Then another reason, your voice is situated right next to where the vagus nerve, you might have heard about that, coalesces, concentrates hugely under the ears in this area, and then it sends nerves throughout the entire body system. So when you hum, make a sound, you are directly vibrating the vagus nerve, the superhighway of information receiving and sending. We do not need to call it the nervous system. I'd much rather call it the ease system, but that's how we know it. So it concentrates, incidentally, also largely, incidentally, maybe not, on the areas that is called the different chakras. So let's just let go of that word, if that has ever brought up a fear bell or an alarm bell because you were taught to love by people who were actually teaching you how to fear. Let's just release those things and come back into feeling it for ourselves. So what we do in vocal somatic resonance, we recognize that the voice is this healing power and we use it. It carries intention. Jonathan Goldman did a lot of research and pioneered sound healing in the modern Western paradigm. You can look his work up. He did shares a lot of chakra tones and the like. His research brought him to a point where he was very confused because all the systems in the world of sound healing actually don't line up. They're all very different. One lineage might use for the heart and another uses it for a totally different part of the body. He didn't understand this until he realized that intention is the key. So he came up with this equation: sound plus intention equals healing. I would like to add to that: sound plus healing intention equals healing. And so that's what we do in vocal somatic resonance practice. We practice healing intentions, and we do this using these tools that I've gathered from very many different avenues. We do a practice with anchoring gratitude that is shared by Heart Math Institute, called Heart Lock-In Technique. We add the layer of humming, which I truly believe makes it even all the more powerful because it resonates into the body and has all those additional chemical releases that assists in totally healing. But we practice this as a staple of VSR practice. Then there's also an ancient practice from Kathara healing. It comes from the Essenes, informed their systems, and Ashayana Dean shares the Kathara healing system. So I used the Maharic Shield meditation, which is a visualization which at first is a bit complex, but with practice becomes a very useful tool to help to align you to a greater alliance than your own physiology. It brings you in alignment with 12-dimensional, 12D, that can also be likened to the chakras. It brings you in connection with your 12th chakra, the Earth Star, and also 12D consciousness, which is Christ consciousness. It could also be called Buddhaic or Reishic consciousness, different layers of our auric field. And when you get out to these parts of our being, it is not corruptible like the lower regions are. So it is pure goodness, pure light. It is Christ consciousness, pure love, life force energy. And we activate this, we bring it in, and this is the most recent addition to the practice. I brought it in because I was already working with a toroidal energy field, which is quite a powerful way to help to release blockages, release stuck energies. Joe Dispenza shares a lot about that, and a lot of his work is based on working with this. So I took a leaf out of his book and started practicing some of the toroidal energy field practices that he recommends. And I found that the Maharic Shield is necessary. This was also recommended by those that share it as necessary to when you start working with the toroidal energy field, that you need to protect your energy, because you are releasing a lot of energy, and if you're not anchoring it into that purity, you might just be stirring things up in yourself that are not quite in alignment with goodness, and so you'll have results that aren't truly healing, that might bring more traumas alive in your life. And so we practice that as a staple, and then we work with the flow of the toroidal energy field. visualizing the moving of the natural energy field, the flow of energy through the spinal column, down the sides and back in, can truly help to release blockages, release stuck energies, depressions. And these tools just become really good things to know when you're going through life at any time. But this time of the world, there's a true need for us to really grab hold of tools that can help us to anchor into higher alignment and support our current spiritual practice, support the prayer we do already do, and the praise and the beliefs that we already hold. These practices will help you just to have some mechanisms that you can support that practice with. And so we offer a free session every Monday at 6 p.m. for 40 minutes. This Monday, please join us and have a look, have a feel for it. But this coming week, there's a special offer that I do, a 2-hour session. If you're working with something that you really would like to overcome now, that you want to make a leap and you want to just cross that bridge, you've been trying to achieve something for a while and you just want that extra nudge to get there, or you want to get more greater clarity to support the journey that you're on currently, this longer session can really help. We do the general VSR practice, but we also work with breath work. We work deep and with the toroidal energy field, charging up the pineal gland. Inside the pineal gland, there are actual little crystals that you can see under a microscope, and these get charged up when you do the type of exercise that we do. And when you hold an intention of the visualization of seeing the outcomes that you want to achieve while charging it up, you are helping yourself to become that person that you want to and need to be in order to achieve what you're working on. So this session will be at a cost of 900 Rand. But if you book today, if you pay by tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., you can get it for 80% discount, 180 Rand for this 2-hour session. I'd really love to share it with you. I'd really love you to have access to this. And there's other sessions as well, early morning sessions. So if you were curious to hear about the offers that I have coming up, there will be regular sessions in this way to share. Please join me on the WhatsApp group where I share information of upcoming sessions. I will add the link by this video. And then reach out, talk to me if you're curious, do connect, and come and experience it for yourself, because it's really in the experience that you will find that ease and that relaxation and the homecoming that VSR can offer us. Thank you. Be blessed.